Masters of darkness move silently. Night is their friend, shadow their weapon. The lives of 25 innocent people depend on the success of a 6-man elite team. The Night Eagle's special team must accomplish an impossible operation within 72 hours. With chemical weapon threats, espionage suspicions, and a camp full of 60 terrorists, Captain Morrison's decisions will change history. Only you will determine what to believe in the night where silence and death reign. Captain Alex Eagle Morrison's heart stopped when he looked through his night vision scope. 500 meters ahead, in the main building of the terrorist camp, 25 hostages were waiting. He checked his watch. 0430. In 18 hours, chemical weapons would detonate. All hostages would die. The breathing sounds of the 5 elite soldiers beside him were inaudible. Operation Phoenix was about to begin, and failure was not an option. Captain Alex Morrison was conducting routine training with the Night Eagles team at Fort Bragg Special Forces Base when the emergency alarm sounded. 25 American diplomats and civilians had been kidnapped by the El-Mahdi terrorist organization in the Middle East. General Williams gave the emergency briefing. Gentlemen, 36 hours ago a convoy departing from Baghdad was attacked. 25 people kidnapped, 12 diplomats, 8 security personnel, 5 civilians. El-Mahdi leader Hakim Rashid is threatening with chemical weapons. The hostage list was horrific. Ambassador James Patterson, CIA Regional Director Sarah Chen, 3 American journalists, and 20 other personnel. Each was critically important. Rashid's demand was clear. Within 72 hours, 50 terrorists in prison would be released, $100 million paid. Otherwise, all hostages would be killed with chemical weapons. The Night Eagles team consisted of 6 people: Captain Morrison leader, Sergeant Rodriguez sniper, Specialist Harris breacher, Sergeant Thompson communications, Lieutenant Jackson medic, Specialist Burke reconnaissance expert. Morrison assembled his team. Each member had 10+ years Special Forces experience, 50+ successful operation experience. They were all friends who could trust each other blindly. Gentlemen, 72-hour countdown has begun. Target, terrorist camp in Al-Tanf Desert. 60 armed militants, heavy weapons, chemical weapons. 25 hostages depend on us to stay alive. Intelligence was very limited. Satellite images showed the camp's general structure, main building, perimeter security, guard towers, but internal architecture was unknown. Rodriguez analyzed sniper positions, 4 guard towers at 1,200-meter range. I can neutralize all simultaneously on first shot. Harris evaluated entry methods, 4 guards at main gate, weak point in rear wall, silent entry possible with C4. Thompson explained communication plan, constant contact with main base, GPS tracking active. Emergency support can arrive in 12 minutes. Jackson presented medical preparations, emergency medical supplies for 25 people, chemical weapon antidote, transport stretchers. The team deployed via C-130 to the region. Al-Tanf Desert, 80 kilometers from Syrian border, completely arid terrain. Nearest support 200 kilometers away. Burke conducted night reconnaissance. Camp stronger than expected, 60 armed terrorists, 4 guard towers, perimeter minefield, 25 people held hostage in main building. Commander, situation is tough, Burke reported. Minefield 200 meters diameter, guards rotate every 2 hours, constant 8-person guard at main building. Morrison re-evaluated the plan. Frontal assault impossible, chemical weapon risk present at any moment. Solution, multiple diversions and silent infiltration. Rodriguez made range calculations. I can see 80% of the camp from main guard tower, but impossible to hit 4 targets simultaneously. Harris developed explosive plan. I can open safe corridor through minefield, but without making noise, takes 30 minutes. During second reconnaissance, shocking development. Terrorists went on alert. Camp security doubled. Guard rotations changed. There was an espionage case. Thompson intercepted encrypted message. American team coming, prepare. Message source unclear but came from U.S. frequency. Morrison called emergency security meeting. Gentlemen, operation has been exposed. Either we have a spy among us, or systems have been infiltrated. Burke made espionage analysis. Commander, our reconnaissance route was known. Only our team and command center had this information. Trust crisis began. In the 6-person team, everyone started suspecting each other. Morrison faced tough decision. Cancel operation or continue with suspicious teammates. Thompson analyzed communication records. 17 conversations with main base in last 24 hours. Records clean, but encryption system may have been infiltrated. Morrison made bold decision. Operation would continue, but plan would completely change. Since he couldn't trust anyone anymore, he would act alone. Gentlemen, Plan B is activated. Rodriguez, stay in sniper position. Harris, do mine clearing. Rest of you wait in support positions. I'll do main infiltration alone. This decision shocked the team. No special forces operation was done by one person, but Morrison was determined. Burke gave final reconnaissance report. Commander, guard change at the 5-minute security gap. That's our only chance. Rodriguez made final calibration. I can clear 4 guard towers in 30 seconds. But afterwards there's 5 minutes of alarm silence. Harris completed mine map. Safe corridor ready. You can reach main building in 3 minutes. Return route also clear. Morrison conducted final equipment check. Silent MP5 submachine gun. 8 magazines, 4 grenades, C4 explosive, night vision system, communication radio, 30 kg equipment, at 04 Tau. Final position moves made. Rodriguez took sniper position at 1200 meters, Harris at minefield entrance, others at support points. At 04:15 Rodriguez reported, 4 targets in sight, guard change in 10 minutes. At 04:20, Harris opened mine corridor. Path clear, you can reach main building in 180 seconds. At 04:25 Morrison began, in night darkness and desert silence. He walked alone to save 25 lives. Burke tracked, Commander 50 meters to camp perimeter, guard rotation in 3 minutes. At 04:30 Morrison entered mine corridor. Harris's prepared path was safe, but every step was death risk. He needed to advance 180 meters silently. At 04:32 he encountered first guard. Terrorist exiting tent didn't see Morrison. Neutralized with silent knife movement. At 04:35 he reached main building perimeter. 3-story concrete structure. Iron bars on windows, 2 guards on roof. He needed to find 25 hostages inside. Rodriguez whispered on radio. Eagle. 2 targets on roof in sight. Can clear simultaneously. Morrison confirmed. Rodriguez, clear the roof. I'm going in. At 04:36 roof guards were silenced. Morrison entered building through rear window. Internal architecture unknown. Every corner could be death trap. When he entered first floor, 3 terrorists were there. Neutralized in 10 seconds with silent MP5, but gunfire sound was heard sly. When Morrison went to second floor, he was shocked. Thompson was talking on radio. Yes, he entered main building, stopped on second floor. Thompson was the spy. He was leaking information to main base. Morrison turned off radio. Now he was completely alone. Second floor had 12 rooms. He didn't know which room had hostages. He needed to check each door individually. First room, empty. Second room, weapon depot. Third room, 4 terrorists sleeping. Passed silently. In fourth room he found gold, 25 hostages together, hands and feet bound, mouths taped. Ambassador Patterson's eyes filled with tears when he saw him. Morrison whispered, Ambassador, I'm Captain Morrison. I came to rescue you. Stay quiet. I'll get you out in 15 minutes. But there was a problem. How would he get 25 people out alone? And what information had Thompson leaked? At 04:45 alarms sounded. Morrison's presence in building had been detected. Entire camp stood up. 60 terrorists began searching for him. Rodriguez gave alarm on radio. Eagle, entire camp mobilized. 40 people surrounding building. Thompson's radio open. They're hearing conversations. Morrison changed strategy. Silent operation over. Now war was beginning. He had to protect 25 hostages while exiting building. First attack came 2 minutes later. 8 terrorists went to second floor. Morrison took position at corridor entrance, defended with MP5. In first firefight, 3 terrorists neutralized, but ammunition limited, 5 magazines left, not enough to fight 60 terrorists. Burke called for support. Main base, urgent air support needed. Operation exposed, met heavy resistance. Response came 12 minutes later. Eagle team, air support there in 20 minutes, hold position. Morrison was trapped on second floor with hostages. Outside, 50 terrorists had surrounded building. Inside, chemical weapons could detonate any moment. At 04:55, Thompson revealed real plan. Morrison, surrender. El-Mahdi organization offers you $10 million. Hand over hostages. Get rich. Thompson had been double agent for years. He'd been selling Night Eagle's operations. Morrison struggled to process his friend's betrayal. Thompson, we fought together for 6 years. How do you betray? Morrison was in anger and disappointment. Money, Morrison. $10 million. I can retire and live comfortably. You can join too. Morrison refused. Never. I won't sell 25 innocent people. Rodriguez tried to provide support from sniper position. Commander, I can clear 20 targets in building, but might harm hostages inside. At 05:15, F-16 jets arrived. Terrorist positions around camp were bombed. 30 terrorists neutralized, remainder scattered. Morrison seized opportunity. Main exit route opened, but he still needed to safely transport 25 people. Burke explained exit plan. Commander, breach in south wall. 400 meters to helicopter landing point. Can make it in 10 minutes. Rodriguez took over watch duty. I'll stay behind, prevent pursuit. You go with hostages. Harris opened exit route with explosives. South wall cleared. 3-meter wide breach. Morrison organized hostages. Everyone follow me. No stopping. Keep running. At 05:20, escape began. 25 hostages followed Morrison through breach. In desert night, they ran toward helicopter landing point. But Thompson tried to interfere one last time. With sniper rifle. Targeted Morrison. Stop, Morrison. Either come with me or die here. Rodriguez spotted Thompson. Commander, Thompson has you targeted. 600 meters away. Morrison faced tough decision. Abandon hostages to fight Thompson, or continue escape. Ambassador Patterson intervened. Captain, don't risk yourself for us. Continue escape. Rodriguez solved problem. I'll handle Thompson. Stopped 6-year friend with single shot. Morrison was sad but determined. Rodriguez, you made right decision. Thompson was enemy now. At 05:25, they reached helicopter landing point. 2 Black Hawk helicopters waiting. 25 hostages safely rescued. Morrison looked back one last time. Al-Tanf camp was burning. Terrorists scattered. Chemical weapon threat ended. Jackson conducted medical check. All hostages healthy. Mild dehydration and stress, but no critical condition. Burke announced operation report. 50 terrorists neutralized. Chemical weapons captured. Camp destroyed. Ambassador Patterson thanked Morrison. Captain, you saved 25 lives. America is grateful to you. At 05:45, helicopters returned to main base. Operation Phoenix successfully completed, but Thompson's betrayal would be investigated. When Night Eagle's team returned to Fort Bragg, grand welcome was made. 25 hostages safely rescued. Chemical weapon threat ended. Morrison summarized lessons learned while writing operation report. Enemy within is most dangerous. Trust must always be verified. Even one person can make difference. Thompson case was investigated by FBI. Determined he'd been double agent for 3 years, sold 8 operations, sentenced to life imprisonment, Rodriguez, Harris, Burke, and Jackson were honored as heroes. All promoted and assigned to specialist positions in Special Forces, Morrison became new commander of Night Eagles, rebuilt team and strengthened security protocols. Rescued 25 hostages returned to normal lives. Ambassador Patterson wrote special thank you letter to Morrison. El-Mahdi organization disbanded. Leader Hakeem Rashid was captured in another operation and tried. Finding the right path in night's darkness is difficult, but true warriors never give up. Morrison and his team learned this in 72 hours.